Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello students, welcome to Swayam Prabha channel 15. The course title is Human Resource Management and the lecture title is Employee Maintenance. This is module 15, lecture 2. I am Dr. Shoma Sen Gupta, Associate Professor Commerce, Kamla Nehru College, University of Delhi. In this lecture, we will cover the grievance handling and redressal. Meaning of employee grievances. Now, in an organization, when the workers are working, they are facing different types of situations, stress-like situations may be there, some rifts may be there, they may not be happy about certain decisions of the supervisor or manager. So there may be discontent and dissatisfaction. So this is grievances. If they are not settled, then naturally the worker will feel demoralized, dissatisfied with the situation. He may leave the organization. And also, if it is on the larger scale, suppose this is a unionized kind of organization where a group of employees are dissatisfied, then it may lead to some kind of industrial strife and leading to strikes and gherao. So it is always better to find out the solution to the grievances and cure the grievances or sort it out so that it does not take the shape of industrial unrest. So grievances refers to any discontent or dissatisfaction, whether expressed or not, whether valid or not, and whether real or imaginary, arising out of anything connected with the company that an employee thinks, believes, or even feels is unfair, unjust, and inequitable. So one thing is discontent and dissatisfaction, and this may be real, imaginary, or whatever, valid or not, but it is connected to the employment or organization, and the employee feels that it is unfair, unjust, or unequitable. In such a situation, there will be some grievances of the employees. The International Labour Organization defines grievances as a complaint of one or more workers with respect to wages and allowances, conditions of work and interpretation of service stipulation, covering such areas as overtime, leave, transfer, promotion, seniority, job assignment, and termination of service. So ILO has given a broader definition and covering the different areas where a grievance might be there, but these are not many other things may be added to this list. So this list is not extensive. So many other problems may creep in, and that may lead to grievances. Features of grievance. Now it reflects feeling of dissatisfaction or injustice in the employee. So that is first one. Dissatisfaction may be valid and legitimate or irrational, ridiculous, and false. Dissatisfaction is with some dimension of the organization's functioning and not due to any personal or family problem. So this is related to organization. It may be expressed or it may be implied. Expressed in the sense that it is showing off the discontent and the worker has written a complaint, so that is expressed, or told the problem to the supervisor, that is expressed. And it may be implied, which can be implied from his face, from his working, how he is performing, that can be, you can make out. So that is implied. Grievances may be expressed in formal or informal way. Formal way is written complaints to the superiors or through trade union representatives. Informal ways are criticism of management's policies, gossips, informal remarks, and rumors. Implied ways of expressing grievances are indifference to work, labor turnover, tardiness, absenteeism, and careless use of materials. If it is not redressed, it leads to lower morale and productivity of employees, and it may lead to industrial unrest as well. Causes of grievances. One is working condition. Poor working condition, improper tools, equipments, machines, poor work relationships with superiors, improper discipline, work schedules, all these may be a cause of grievance. Management policy can be a cause of grievance, like wage rates, payment of wages, overtime, incentives, bonus, seniority, promotion, demotion, transfer, career growth, leave and other rules, management workers or trade union relations. If the workers are not satisfied with any one of them, it may be a cause of grievance. Alleged violations like rules and regulations, collective bargaining agreements, laws by the employer can be a cause of grievance of the employee. Personal problems of the employee like ego, self-esteem, impractical attitude, over ambitious, all the more it leads to grievance among them. Effect of grievances. Grievances affect many areas. One is on production, like low quality of production and low productivity will be there, increase in wastages, increase in cost of production. It will affect the employee also. There will be increased absenteeism, reduction in level of commitment, increase in accidents, reduced level of employee morale. Also, it will affect the managers, strained superior subordinate relations will be there, need for increased supervision or control and follow up, increase in unrest, difficult to maintain industrial peace. So these are the effects of grievances. Approaches to an effective handling of grievances. There are different mechanisms in different organizations to handle grievances. One is an open door policy. As the name suggests, the chief executive allows anyone to come to him with complaints and looks into those complaints. Works well with small organization where there are number of employees are few, but it is less practical in bigger organization. Some large organization provide for some kind of a screening also of the complaints. So at one level it is screened and exceptional nature problems are resorted to the chief executive. This system cuts the hierarchy of management also. Directly the employee can go to the chief executive, skipping all the intermediary positions or stages, so hierarchy may be violated. Then there is another policy called structured system or step ladder system. Here it is prevalent in large and medium sized organization. Written or published grievance handling procedure operates at 2 or 3 level. The aggrieved employee first makes his complaint to the first line supervisor. If it is not solved there, then it is reported to the next higher authority. Next authority may be approached. If it is not satisfied there, then he will further move upwards to the chief executive or the highest possible position. So that is step ladder system. Another way of handling grievances may be joint committees. Now, as the name suggests, it is a joint committee comprising of union members and management. The aggrieved employee is also given an opportunity to be heard. So they will hear the case, they will come out with solution, and they will try to remove the problem area. Then another is exit interview. This happens in organization when the employees are leaving the organization because of the grievances. So interview of every employee who quits, that can be there. It reveals the grievances, and the authority over there, they listen empathetically so as to find out a solution so that it should not happen in future. The cause may be removed. Gripe box is another way. It is a kind of a box whereby people submit their grievances and not the suggestions. Employees can drop their complaints anonymously. So that is the beauty of gripe box, but they should be taken carefully. The authority oppointed for that purpose should regularly open the gripe box, see and study the grievances and find out a solution for it. Then opinion surveys is another approach whereby survey to elicit the opinions of employees are held regarding organization and management. Periodical interviews are to take place with workers, collective bargaining, group meetings, all these happen in opinion surveys. So these are the different approaches to handle grievances. Grievance redressal procedure, it is visible in this diagram, which I have taken from this site. Now, but it is there in different books also. First of all, it is a bottom-up approach, in the sense that first the aggrieved employee will approach the supervisor. Supervisor will form a kind of a committee, or he will call the union or shop department representatives also, the trade union representative at the lower level, and the supervisor, they will hear the complaint and find out a solution for that and solve it. If it is not solved, then they can approach them, aggrieved employee can approach the, or it will be referred to the middle management, or middle management office bearers and the union office bearers at a higher level. And again, here again they will try to sort it out. If it is not solved, then it will go to top management, and also the top level official of the trade union, like union president or general secretary, will be part of that team, who will find out the solution for the grievances. And if then also it is not solved, then it will go to conciliation, arbitration, or adjudication. So this is the whole of the grievance handling procedure, which we will discuss in the next slide also. So organizations should have a permanent grievance redressal procedure, and the grievances should not be taken lightly, because it may, if it is not resorted to redressed, then it may take the shape of dissatisfaction, discontent, as well as unrest in the organization. Grievance redressal procedure, what is it? It is a formal process of settling grievances. It consists of a number of steps in a hierarchy, which we have discussed. So it is different in different organization. In small organization, it may be only a one-step process, and in big organization, there may be a complete hierarchy of grievance handling procedure. First opportunity of handling grievances is given to the line supervisor. A representative of the trade union also joins him. In the next level, the HR officer or middle level executive, along with a higher level union officer, tackle the grievance. In the third step, the top management and the top union leaders sit together to settle the grievances. If the grievance remains unsettled, it is referred to an outsider, like the conciliator or arbitrator. So this whole process we have discussed in the last slide as well. Advantages of a grievance redressal system. It brings grievances into open, make them known to management to resolve it. Unbiased tackling of grievances will take place. Encourages employees to raise concern without fear of reprisal. Provides a fair and speedy means of dealing of grievances. Prevents minor disagreements developing into more serious disputes. Saves employers time. Builds organizational climate, cordial relations, industrial relations based on openness and trust. Essentials of a sound grievance redressal system. First, it should be acceptable to all the concerned parties. Participation and mutual consultation should be there. So this will generate a faith in the grievance mechanism in the organization. It should have a legal sanctity. That means it should conform to the existing laws. Acknowledging grievance is very important on the part of the management or manager. That it implies that the manager is eager to look into the complaint impartially and without any bias. Promptness is the key. Speedy redressal of grievances should take place. Gathering and examining facts by the manager is important. He should gather appropriate and sufficient facts explaining the grievance's nature. Training should be provided. Supervisors and union representatives should be given the required training to handle grievances. The procedure should be simple. Review and follow-up should be periodically taken up, and adequate changes should be introduced if needed. Next heading is grievance redressal in India. Different acts are there, legislations are there covering this area. One is the Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946. Here, every establishment employing 100 or more workers should frame standing orders regarding this grievances, should contain a provision for redressal of grievances of workers against unfair treatment and wrongful actions by the employer or his agents. Then this next act is the Factories Act 1948. provides for the appointment of welfare officer in every factory, ordinarily employing 500 or more workers. Welfare officers also look after complaints or grievances and look after the proper implementation of the existing labor legislation. And the last one is the Disputes Act 1947. Now, in this act makes it mandatory for setting up a grievance redressal machinery for the temporary workforce. Also, an organization must set up the grievance redressal committee if it employs 20 and more workmen. There should be an equal number of members from the employer and the workmen. So this is in Industrial Dispute Act. It also makes it mandatory to have a redressal machinery, grievance redressal machinery. Model grievance procedure in India. Now, the grievance procedure, mainly being a voluntary measure, was adopted by the Indian industries during the 16th Indian Labour Conference in 1958. So you can see in 1958 they have adopted it, but still it is not working properly in many of the organizations. The model is largely applied by all industries. An aggrieved employee shall just present his grievance verbally in person to the officer designated. The answer should be given within 48 hours. If the worker is not satisfied with the answer, he along with one department representative will present the grievance to the departmental head. He will give his judgment in 3 days or state the reason for delay. Thereafter, if he is not satisfied yet, then he may be requested to refer the case to the grievance committee. If the committee fails to take a decision within a stipulated period or employee remains unsatisfied, he can report to the higher tier of the management for revision. Management is supposed to communicate its decision within 7 days. If the worker is still not satisfied with the decision or the management fails to communicate the decision within the stipulated time, the union and the management may ask for voluntary arbitration. The decision of the same will be binding on both the parties. So you can see this model grievance procedure works on the similar lines as we have discussed the whole model of grievance handling. So this has to be followed in India in different organizations. Summarizing this lecture, we can say grievance refers to any discontent or dissatisfaction arising out of anything connected with the company that an employee thinks, believes, or even feels is unfair, unjust, and inequitable. Dissatisfaction may be valid and legitimate or irrational, ridiculous, false, expressed, implied, informal or informal way. Causes of grievance may arise out of working condition, management policy, alleged violations, personal problems of employees, or anything. Approaches for effective handling of grievance are open door policy, step ladder system, joint committees, exit interviews, gripe box, and opinion leaders. Grievance redressal procedure is a formal process of settling grievances. Grievance redressal in India is there in different acts also, like Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946, the Factories Act 1948, and the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. Thank you very much, students. So this was Employee Maintenance Module 15, Lecture 2.